Okay, let's see. All right, I should be live. Sorry, we had all kinds of technical difficulties here. We're starting about 10 minutes late. And I appreciate everybody hanging on here. I'm going to wait as the number of people watching goes up here. Please stand by. We'll start. Yeah, it's a long technical story. One browser didn't work, and I had to switch to a different browser. I tried the cell phone. That wasn't useful. So anyhow, we got it this time. Thanks for the audio report. Yeah, I've got a nice microphone now. I'm no longer doing the little headphone thing. It wasn't working. So yeah, just bear with. I'm going to open her up here in about another minute. We got a lot to cover, a lot of important breaking things. We're going to be focusing a lot on the sanctuaries. All right, we got 52 people. I'm going to wait just another 30 seconds or so. We'll let some more climb in here. And while we're waiting, just a reminder, there is going to be a meeting tonight in Virginia Beach. So those of you in that area, you may want to come out tonight and attend the meeting. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'll start. We'll start the discussion going here. I realize people are still joining again. I apologize to those of you that were trying to figure out what's going on. Join the club. I wasn't having any more luck than you were for a while, but everything's finally Murphy's Law finally got out of the way. Okay, the first thing I would like to talk about is the sanctuary locality situation that we're working on. Currently, we have, I think, 10 or 11 localities that have become Second Amendment sanctuary localities. And we have a ton more that are in process. They're going to be meeting almost every day. There's going to be another city council meeting or county board of supervisors meeting somewhere to look at becoming a sanctuary. Now, let's talk a little bit about what being a sanctuary locality means. Legally, the counties don't have a whole lot they can do by becoming sanctuary, except they're setting, and this is important, there's several things they are doing. They're setting a policy for the county, and employees could be bound by that policy. So if they have their own police department, the police chief could be told, don't enforce these unconstitutional laws that are being passed in Richmond. And now, it would also set a precedent for any of the other employees of the locality. Plus, the localities are sending a signal to Richmond that if Richmond is going to ignore the Constitution, then the counties are going to ignore Richmond on this issue. And that seems perfectly fair to me. Now, so part of what's going on with the counties, and some cities are going to be involved in this, towns, is to send a message to Richmond, and a very clear message. But that's not all of it. We also will be doing a very similar thing for the sheriffs and for the Commonwealth attorneys, both of which are totally independent of the localities. The locality can't tell a sheriff what to do, and they can't tell a Commonwealth attorney what to do. However, they are setting the lead by becoming a sanctuary. They are setting the lead. They're telling both of them where the county wants to go. And that will have an effect. I guarantee it's going to have an effect on sheriffs, and it's probably going to have an effect on Commonwealth attorneys. For the sheriff, it means that the sheriff can decide not to enforce any of these unconstitutional laws. Just simply not enforce them. Directives deputies don't enforce this, not in our county. And if the Commonwealth attorneys agree, they won't be prosecuting anybody brought in front of them for a violation of any of these unconstitutional gun laws. Now, do understand, without those two on board, and even with those two on board, there's still a possibility that somebody could be prosecuted. This is not, we've won the war. This is merely a skirmish in the war. This is a volley being fired back at Richmond is what this is. This is not the end of the war. And people thinking that, no, I'm in a sanctuary county, I'm done. Oh, no, you're not. But this is a great, great, great way to start and prepare for the session coming up. This is sending a powerful message to the General Assembly. And in turn, as we get more sheriffs and hopefully Commonwealth attorneys on board, then we're going to have teeth in this, saying you can pass it, but nothing's going to happen. It's a paper tiger. So, and some people have said, well, then they'll just bring in the state police. Well, yeah, they don't have, I mean, it's a big state. As I found out, just looking at the number of localities that we've got, as we're trying to coordinate this, it's huge. And the state police are not going to be in a position to be the enforcer of gun laws across the Commonwealth. That's just not practical. But what we need to do, the bottom line in this is that we need to actually make sure these bills don't become law. Then we don't have a problem at all. Then we've covered our bases, and we don't have a problem. So that's what we need to do. Now, I have mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. A lot of the Democrats out there are in counties or cities that have a lot of gun owners. Those gun owners have been sleeping for years. They haven't really paid much attention. They, their senator or delegate would vote wrong, and they wouldn't punish them for it. And largely because nothing happened. If they voted for gun control, the Republicans killed it. So yeah, they voted wrong, but it never actually became a problem. If they voted against a pro-gun measure and it still made it, then again, gun owners sort of shrugged, and because it didn't make a difference. Here's the difference now. They own, the Democrat leadership and the Democrat Party will own, and any Republicans that happen to go along with it will own gun control. This is very different than the mode they've been in for years. For the last 20 years, they didn't have much to own. Now they're going to own it. Now that sleeping giant, all of you out there, and all of the people, the vast numbers of people, huge crowds showing up at Board of Supervisors members. Every one of these things has been standing room bleeding out the hall and into the, outside the building. They're all like that. That is part of that sleeping giant that they're kind of wishing would stay asleep, but they have declared war on gun owners. These bills that are in there, the assault weapon ban, where do I begin with that? Long guns are rarely ever used in crime. Rarely ever. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction, but oh boy, are they going to go after it. They're not going after criminals with this. They're going after you and me. They've declared war on the law-abiding citizens, the very people that they should be representing and protecting our rights. They're basically raising the middle finger at those rights. And we cannot let that stand. We cannot let this happen on our watch. This is our watch, guys. If you're looking at this video, this is my watch, this is your watch, this is our watch. We cannot afford to lose the linchpin of our liberty on our watch. We simply cannot let that happen. And maybe other states have let this slip through. We're not. I don't know how it's all going to turn out. I know we need a big lobby day, January 20th. There was talk of somebody put on Facebook, hey, why don't we do a million gun march in Richmond? No, we need to have all those people together on lobby day. If we had 10, 15, 20, 30,000 people there, you can't even imagine the effect that would have. We need to show in every way that we're watching. We will not tolerate our gun rights, the unconstitutionally being stripped from us. And that includes all of the things that they're putting up now. And I mean, they're putting up, and it's starting to come in, some really, really bad stuff. But we knew that. We warned you guys that this was their intention, that they wanted to go after gun owners. And now we're going to have to play the hand we were dealt. I'm convinced, like most of you, that a lot of gun owners were still sitting on their rear ends, never got up to go vote. Certainly they didn't. Only 40% of the voters showed up. I guarantee there were a bunch of gun owners in that batch. But all we can do now is say, okay, fine. We got dealt a bad hand, partly because of our own stupidity and laziness, but we got the hand and we're going to play it. And we've got a lot of options in how we play it. A good friend of mine and one of our executive members, Dennis O'Connor, I have seen him take the junkiest hand in cards, playing pinochle, and win with it. And he's done that multiple times, and everybody else at the table is shaking their head. How did you do that? Well, this is what we need to do. We need to take the hand we're dealt, and we need to make it a winning hand. And we can do that, but we need everybody involved. This won't be over till it's over. Again, I am really hoping those people out there that went to these sanctuary locality meetings and stood up and fought for this aren't thinking now that it's over. They've done their part. They're safe. They can go back to sleep. I'm praying that they understand that this is just the beginning. This is the first volley in what's going to be a very, very intense war. And but we have the numbers, we have the will, we have the Constitution behind us. This isn't like just any law. They are going after something that's in the Constitution that is protected. It's a natural, God-given right that's protected by the Constitution. And it's specifically protected for the purpose of making sure we remain free. And that includes being able to take back a tyrannical government and returning it to being the free government that it's supposed to be. That is enshrined in the Constitution. And the fact that they're going after AR-15s is because they don't want that part of the Constitution to be enforceable. They want us to be Venezuela, where they can run over us any way they want, run over future generations, and all we got is rocks to throw at them. Now, if you could throw a rock at 3,200 feet per second, that might be different, but you can't. And so we need to make sure that they stay a mile away from our ability to defend ourselves, our families, which AR-15s, by the way, are excellent at doing. That's why police have them for defense. But they are also a key part in making sure we remain a free people. So we need to flood. Every time in the past, over the last few years, I really hate calling people out when they've got jobs to do. They've got other things on their mind to come out to meetings that I felt like we could probably handle because everybody was doing emails. This year is not going to be like that. I'm going to be calling you out, and I need people once in a while to find a way to get a day off, even if you can only go to one extra meeting outside of lobby day. If each of you did that and picked one and went to it, I would like to have hundreds of people showing up at every one of these meetings that is going to be held. Subcommittee, committee, we just need to flood the room. We need to have the resolve. And I think everybody out there is getting the message that this is serious. This is not a joke. It's not going to go away unless we take the lead. So, again, spread the word. Two, get people on VA Alert. VA Alert's where you need to be to watch this, to keep track of what's going on. Let me tell you, I don't even know how to express what it's been like to be on this end of what's happening right now. I have never In the 20-something years I've been doing this, there's nothing that's even come close to what I'm seeing on this. Nothing. If you took everything, every bad thing, every critical issue during the Obama years, with the Virginia Tech massacre, with the massacre at the gun-free zone in Virginia Beach, if you added them all together, that's a firecracker, and we're now looking at an atomic bomb. My emails have exploded. I am behind about 1,800 emails right now. I'm actually just trying to look at the latest ones coming in to try and put together a list of more places that you guys need to show up, because the list of where sanctuary resolutions are going to be voted on is exploding. It's all over the place, and I'm trying to pull it together. Everybody's being great and sending me, the addresses and times and dates, but sometimes I'm getting 10 duplicates or quadruplicates and more, 10 times. But that's okay. I'd rather have too much and too little. I just have to weed through it all. Right now, I feel terrible because I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. But we're just going to have to hope that doesn't happen, or you're going to have to be persistent in making sure I know about something if you're not seeing it. But please hold still for a little bit, because I'll have to put together a whole nother group. A bunch of people have filled in all the blanks on the last alert as to what time and where to go for all those localities that were in the last alert. I now have a lot of that information, and I will probably almost retransmit that with those localities with the correct information so you guys can be there. But we've got some coming up, as soon as Monday, and then others will be dragging on into December, and a few are going to drag on into January. But there are localities showing up I didn't know were on the radar scope yet. Why? Because that's you. That are you guys being activists, getting out and getting this stuff rolling on your own. Now, bringing in the whole group is a good idea, but you know what? Activism is amazing, and what one person can do, if they're really a fervent activist, is absolutely amazing. And don't ever underestimate the power of grassroots activism. It is incredibly powerful. It can void a lot of what the billions and millions of dollars thrown at the gun owners across the country trying to buy away or steal our rights. We can override a lot of that. We can make Mr. Bloomberg go packing, and states have done that, and we'll have to do the same thing again. We need to foil this, and believe me, the eyes of the country are focused on us because they know what an excellent gun rights state we are. All the things we've done over the years. They know this, and they're watching us. If we fall, we will be the model that will take down other states. There's nowhere to run, guys. They're going to go after Kentucky. They're going after Florida now. They're going to go after North Carolina. That's on the list. Texas is already under attack. We've got to stand up and fight. We cannot back up anymore. Our backs are against the wall, as I see it. And they're watching us across the country, both the good and the bad. They're all watching us to see what happens here. And I can tell you now, I'm getting emails from counterparts in other states. And they're watching carefully because they're going to be looking at us as the model in the end, however this turns out. If we win this, and I expect we will, they're going to use us as the model as to how you get the job done, how you stop the tyranny that's being shoved towards us. We've got the tools. Our founding fathers gave us the tools. We've got the First Amendment. We've got the Second Amendment. We now have this. We didn't have this 25 years ago where I could get up and talk to all of you like this. By the way, there's over 200 of you on here now in the middle of a work day. I appreciate that. Go to your gun clubs. Most of you are probably members of shooting ranges. I know I am. If you're a hunter, talk to your other hunters. Go to your hunter meeting and tell them, guys, don't for a minute think they're not coming after your sniper rifle with that deadly scope on top of it. Don't think they're not coming after that shotgun, that device that can shoot 50 bullets with the pull of a single trigger, and that's absolutely a devastating close-range weapon. Don't think they're not going to come for that. If you do, you're a fool. You just need to cast your eyes to other countries. They'll come for it. They came for it in all those other countries. If you're allowed to keep your shotgun, it'll be locked away at a club somewhere, and you'll have to check it out and check it right back in as soon as you're done, along with accounting for all your ammo, if you're allowed to keep it. I don't think the people in Venezuela are allowed to keep shotguns. I don't know, but I bet you they don't. Keep in mind, there's been a lot of talk of socialism here, communism, things I never thought I'd hear in my lifetime. And to me, it's not a coincidence that while they're spouting that out of one side of their mouth, they're spouting, oh, we must do something about gun control. If you look at a graph of the crime and gun ownership, picture the letter Y laying on its side. The part of the Y going up, that's gun ownership. The part of the Y going down is murder and crime, violent crime rates. We are not in a crisis, contrary to what the governor is telling you. Not at all. We're as far as crime, we're continuing to watch the bar go lower and lower and lower. The crime rates are dropping. Why? Well, gun ownership's going up. That may not be a complete coincidence. But those that hate gun owners, and they hate us. There are those out there that hate us. A lot of this is about hate. Let's just be clear about that. Let's not pull any punches. That we've been, there's a prejudice against gun owners, and totally undeserved. But it's there. It's been cultivated for years. It's still being cultivated in our schools. But it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what they're cultivating. I know who we are. We know who we are. Anybody new to the ranks learns really quickly how wonderful the great people of this country are, and of Virginia, and especially the gun owners in this country. Out there, our membership includes law enforcement, includes military, it includes legislators. We have everybody you can imagine in this group, every race, every religion or lack of religion. We're about taking a slice of America, and our focus is protecting your right to defend yourself, because we believe all of your lives, regardless of your other philosophies, your life is valuable. And if we stand together as a team with that in mind, reaching out to everybody that wants to protect that right, again, our base will continue to grow, continue to expand. It's already huge. So, hopefully I've answered a lot of your questions about this. I can tell you I'm being inundated, and for those that have sent me emails, please don't be discouraged if I haven't gotten back to you. I just don't know when it's going to be. I'm trying to go through them, but in normal times, I normally have 3 or 4 I can skip through real quick. I can even look at just the title in the first few sentences, and I can make a decision what to do with it. A lot of times it's just informational, and sometimes it's spam or something. Literally 2 out of 3, if not 3 out of 4, are things I have to stop, read, and decide to do something on. So I'm crawling through these. But that's just the way it is. This is how you win a war. You don't win a war by everybody out there sleeping. You're awake. And I'm having to pay the price because of the overload, but that's okay. That's part of this. Everybody sacrifices when you're fighting a war. Everybody, and that's and the board is helping me. I've got our executive members helping me. I'm going to have John Pierce, who drafts our bills and everything, working overtime on this. And we are going to be on the offensive as well. Don't misread me to think we're just going to be defending against these bills. We're not. And we're going to put in constitutional carry again. If they want to bring it down, go ahead and bring it down. But we're not backing up. They're going to be on the defensive as well with bills that we're putting in. Our agenda will continue. We will continue to fight for that. But at the same time, unfortunately, we are going to have to put a lot more effort into stopping the attack on our rights, the attack on the good people of Virginia. Put in a bill that goes only after criminals, and I'll bet we could all stand behind it. Put in a bill that goes after us, and no. They're doing the equivalent to us of, because my neighbor drove drunk, they're going to force me to put a breathalyzer on my car. That's what they're doing to us. That insanity would never last 10 seconds in the real world out there. But when it comes to guns, all insanity is considered perfectly fine and acceptable. And it's not fine. It's not acceptable. We don't accept that any more than the citizens of Virginia would accept being forced to put a breathalyzer on their car because a small percentage of drivers insist on driving drunk. And I hope to see as many of you as possible on Lobby Day. Let's get thousands and thousands and thousands out there. Let's go for, remember, we're going to be on the Capitol steps. This is going to be a fantastic photo. Let's make that photo absolutely jaw-dropping with the number of people there. Remember, the other side is going to be there. We dare not let them outnumber us. We dare not let that happen. And if we do, shame on us. So let's be there. Let me see you at those meetings, the committee and subcommittee meetings. Let me see you there as we hand out our Gun Saves Lives stickers to everybody. We need to do this, and we can do this. Like I say, we're all going to sacrifice. But at the end of the day, we're not having to sacrifice the way that people fighting wars to protect us, the way our founding fathers sacrificed. We're not going to be laying hopefully dead in a ditch somewhere, having fought with our lives for this. We're not asked to go to that degree. We can handle this. This is perfectly handleable. You can get time off work. I will hopefully see you guys there. I'm optimistic. Watching what I tell you, if you've never been to one of these Board of Supervisors meetings, if you're one of those that didn't show up, you need to go. You talk about something that, wow, I mean, it really lifted my spirits up super high to see all these people together, all standing shoulder to shoulder, all these patriots, all of those people flooding the building. I can't tell you the impression it had on me. You need to go to one of these if you haven't. And Lobby Day should be an experience that'll be an experience of a lifetime this year. My wife said something that at the time I kind of scratched my head, but I think she's right. What we're doing now, what we're in the middle of, is actually historic. I think that the turnout on this could well end up in the history books. We are in something, and believe me, the media is watching. I have been getting call after call for interviews. And so forth. The media is alert on this. They're watching us. The country is watching us. What we do here is huge and will matter to countless Americans across the country. So with that, I know people have got work to do. Thank you so much for showing up. And I'll see you in the battle. Thank you.